Hello, happy Monday or whatever day it is when you watch this video. If you are following the financial markets, you will have noticed that several major stock indices are down considerably today, Monday 27th of January, especially those heavy on tech. And one of the reasons seems to be the recent launch of DeepSeek R1, which is considered somewhat of a Chinese equivalent of ChatGPT in the sense that it performs about equally well but is reportedly much cheaper. My name is Jimmy Lepping. I'm a psychologist and statistician with an interest in a variety of topics, including human and machine learning. And in this video, I briefly explain what DeepSeek is about and why it is contributing to downward pressure on several well-known large cap technology stocks, especially in the semiconductor space. So, without going into too much technical detail, DeepSeek is an AI lab which focuses on the development of so-called large language models, abbreviated LLM. At this point, you will most probably, at very least, have heard of ChatGPT, and depending on your profession or studies, you may have even used it. And if you ever wondered what the abbreviation GPT stands for, that is Generative Pre-trained Transformers. GPTs have thus far been considered the most powerful LLMs, and like other types of LLMs, they form part of a family of machine learning models for processing and generating language that have been trained with huge amounts of text. And one of the very cool things about DeepSeek is that it is open source. Now, if you are a programmer or a scientist like myself, you will know what open source is about. But if this term is new to you, well, briefly put, it means that the so-called source code is freely available for modification and collaboration. And from a development point of view, open source is a really great feature of any promising program or platform. Psychologists, biologists, economists, and other people working with data will find common examples of open source in R, Python, JASP, and SOCNetV, just to name a few. Open source allows anyone with the necessary knowledge and experience to verify and understand what exactly a model does and, at a next level, how it could be modified or expanded in order to make it better. And if it is true that DeepSeek requires much less advanced chips and computation power than OpenAI's ChatGPT, major arguments in favor of DeepSeek are that chip production may not need that much of an investment as thought, actually much, much less. And it is, well, actually, if it has a considerably lower energy consumption, well, that is a very big plus for the planet. And these arguments are likely part of the reason why major technology stocks, especially some of the key players in the semiconductor space, like ASML and Nvidia, are down about 10% on the day as we speak. But as for any new tool, the question is, how good is it actually? Well, as part of my search for documented tests on the latest version of DeepSeek, which is version R1 and was released on the 20th of January, yes, the same day as Donald Trump officially took office in the White House, I came across this video here, which you can find via the link provided, in which author Matthew Berman shows in no more than 15 minutes an interesting set of tasks, really, that this latest version of DeepSeek can perform successfully. If you want to know more about its current strengths and limitations, so that is of DeepSeek, look at this 15-minute video by Matthew Berman. I think it's a great starting point. And if you want to know a bit more about the political and financial market implications of the rise of DeepSeek, this 5-minute video by Bloomberg, in my view, sums it up pretty well. Now, on the latter, as I already mentioned, the latest version of DeepSeek was launched on the exact day that Donald Trump was inaugurated as the 47th President of the United States of America. Is this coincidence? I personally don't think so. Rather, I think it's a powerful statement from China to the US government and the world that the package of sanctions against China initiated by the Biden administration has not worked. Instead, as so often with sanctions, it stimulated, in this case the Chinese government and China-based companies, to boost innovation one way or another. In May of last year, several leading figures in the US tech sector claimed that the future of AI was completely in the hands of US companies and that China was at least 2 or 3 years behind. But now it appears that a Chinese lab has managed to develop an equivalent of ChatGPT that reportedly performs about equally well, but does so with much fewer resources. And as is eloquently stated in the 5-minute Bloomberg video I referred to here, China outnumbers the US in numbers of software developers by a ratio of about 3 to 1. Add to this the fact that DeepSeek is open source, and the message coming from China that I read is let's collaborate. And perhaps this is just one of the reasons why Mr. Trump backpedaled on a recent threat of introducing 100% trade tariffs on China. And last week he said, well, he'd rather not impose new tariffs on China. Or, in Trump's words, they don't want them, and I would rather not have to use it. That said, please note that this video is not intended to spread a pro-China or anti-USA message and is not meant to serve as any kind of trading or investment advice either. I currently hold no positions in technology companies, partly because since going into 2025 I have seen some major downside risks in the sector, especially for some of the companies with ultra high price to earnings ratios, including in the semiconductor space. And well, whether this development around DeepSeek is going to be negative or positive for the ASMLs and NVIDIAs of this world, I think is too early to tell. It would be easy to say that just now, because today these stocks are down around 10% on the day as we speak, this is the first sign that what some people have been calling the AI bubble has finally popped. But I think time will tell. Like DeepSeek, developments around ChatGPT and alternatives alike will continue, and given increased competition, possibly will now move faster. And the fact that DeepSeek is open source again provides powerful opportunities for collaboration. So to me, it's an interesting space in an interesting time with perhaps more than a clear direction in terms of specific stocks systematically going up or going down from here. We may above all see considerable volatility with all the developments that are about to come. And that's it for this video. I hope you found it useful. If you have any comments or suggestions, just leave a note below this video. And for now, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.